What if I told you that one of the most mind-blowing miracles ever recorded in the Bible was not performed by Jesus, not by Peter, not by Paul, not even by a living person, but by a dead man? Yes, a miracle performed by a corpse. Sounds impossible, right? Could you ever believe that a lifeless body, buried and long forgotten, could raise another dead man to life? Dear viewers, what you're about to watch is not a fiction. It's a biblical story, a spine-chilling, awe-inspiring wonder recorded in the Holy Scriptures. A miracle so rare, so astonishing, that even the fiercest doubters must pause and ask, could this really be true? Today on Benz Voice Narrative, we journey back into the ancient Israel, to the days of war, tombs, raiders, and resurrection. This is the mysterious story of Elisha's bones, the dead prophet whose resting place, the grave, became the stage for a miracle no man ever performed. This story is found in the second book of Kings, chapter 13, verse 21. In a quiet village tucked in the hills of ancient Israel, a place called Abel-Meholah, once lived a man of God named Elisha. Elisha was not just a prophet. He was a voice of heaven to kings and commoners alike. He healed the sick. He raised the living. He parted rivers. His life burnt with the fire of divine power. But like all men, Elisha eventually died, and they buried him in a tomb, just like any other prophet before him. Time passed, seasons changed, and his bones lay dry in the dark silence of the grave. Until one day, something strange happened. A group of Israelites were on a solemn mission, carrying the body of a man who had just died. Their hearts were heavy, their feet slow. They were looking for a burial spot near the area where Elisha's tomb lay. From afar, a band of Moabite raiders thundered towards them, their weapons gleaming under the sun. The Moabites were the enemies of the Israelites. Panic erupted. There was no time to finish the burial, no time for prayers or farewells. In desperation, the Israelite mourners threw the dead body in the nearest tomb. That was the tomb of Elisha. And immediately they turned to run, their hearts pounding with fear. But what happened next stopped them in their tracks. As the lifeless man's body touched the bones of Elisha, a jolt of divine power surged through the tomb. The dead man's eyes burst open. His chest heaved with breath, and he stood up, alive. Not minutes later, not hours later, instantly. Imagine the screams, the terror, the awe. The mourners, who were once fleeing raiders, now stirred in disbelief as the man they came to bury now stood among them, whole, breathing, and alive. And what about Elisha? Still dead, still bones. Yet, God used those bones to bring a man back to life from the grave of the grave. This was no ordinary resurrection. Jesus raised Lazarus while alive. Peter raised Tabitha. Paul raised Eutychus. But Elisha, he performed this miracle after death. It's the only account in the entire Bible where a corpse brings another corpse back to life. What does this story tell us? It tells us that God's power is not confined to time. That is, God's power is not limited to time. His power is not confined to breath or flesh. That even death cannot bury their anointing. That when God touches a life, His impact can echo long after we are gone. Elisha's miracle is a divine message. Your legacy doesn't end when your life does. And when you carry God's presence, even your bones can become a vessel of revival. Dear viewers, you have just watched one of the strangest yet most glorious miracles in all of the scriptures. A miracle that challenges our thinking. A miracle that ignites our faith. So, I ask you, can a dead man perform a miracle? Now you know. The answer is yes, if God's power rests upon you. If these stories touch something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Benz Voice Narrative for more astonishing, mysterious, and powerful stories from the pages of history and the scriptures. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and remember, even the grave is no match for the power of God.